Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's me again, Meat Puppet. We're going to look at a clip that I found about Elon Musk, just talking about how he thinks about the whole Twitter thing that's happening right now. And later we will delve into some of these tweets that I was quite shocked that we live in such a world where this is normal.
The Twitter files. And maybe why is this important to you to make sure that people understand the stuff? Yeah.
I think it's important to, if we're going to be trusted in the future, to kind of clear the decks for stuff that's happened in the past. So, to be totally frank, almost every conspiracy theory that people had about Twitter turned out to be true. So, is there a conspiracy theory about Twitter that didn't turn out to be true? So far, they've all turned out to be true. And if not, more true than people thought.
Yeah. Is there a part of the files that really shocked you more than the rest of them? Like, of the things that have been disclosed?
This?
Of all of these things, is there something that really sticks out with you as like, holy shit, I had no idea this was happening? Or is the whole thing just a big dumpster fire? They were just looking at one huge thing. Like PsyOps versus the Hunter Biden thing versus the
number of FBI people involved. That was pretty shocking.
Stuff is pretty intense.
FBI PsyOps stuff to me was probably the one that was the most insidious. Like the rest of it, I could think of like, a bunch of overzealous libs got used.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But to have like a secure skiff that essentially sends things that, government agents want the populace to basically think. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Seems like out of a really bad dystopian novel. Yeah. And then it turns out it existed.
We live in it already.
And then the thing is, it couldn't have just existed at Twitter. So what are we going to do about all the other places where this shit's happening?
YouTube, Facebook,
yeah. That's why none of it seemed that surprising to me. I don't know, maybe I just believed all the conspiracy theories, but I've also been inside some of these companies and seen how they operate. So honestly, none of it was a surprise to me. Was it a big shock to you, Elon?
Wait. You Freeberg, you were, I think you can claim that you weren't surprised that these companies were shadow banning, although they denied it. But did you really suspect that the FBI was playing a role in flagging content for these companies to take down? That blew me away.
Content that's got nothing to do with terrorism.
Yeah, they're not investigating crimes. There's no crime.
Right.
Yeah, they literally flagged satire.
Jokes.
Maybe they didn't get the joke. I don't know, but
they don't seem to be a humor-driven group. But aren't they supposed to get warrants? Isn't that how it's supposed to work in a democracy? They want information
they're
about
asking
users
favors of
they
their
follow.
friends. Yeah, they're all friends.
That's the thing that's troubling to me. Put yourself on either side of the extreme.
And that is a scary part. As they were talking about, you might need a warrant to officially do something about it. No. Somebody was in power asking a friend for a favor in a group. There was no middle ground and they just did whatever they want in a way to promote PsyOp. And I was like, what do they mean with PsyOp? I only heard about that in games. Psychological operations are operations to convey selected information and indicators to audience to influence their emotion, motives, and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of the government, organization, groups, and individuals.
That is the third saddest thing I've heard today.
Of course, I'm surprised that Elon Musk bought this and everybody's like, yo, they're gonna find out how true democracy works. Now, Meta did the research. I will post a link in the description and in the comment section, and let's see what he has to say. After weeks of Twitter file reports detailing close coordination between the FBI and Twitter in moderating social media content, the Bureau issued a statement Wednesday. It didn't refute allegations. Instead, it decried conspiracy theorists publishing misinformation whose sole aim is to discredit the agency.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They must think us unambitious if our sole aim is to discredit FBI. After all, a whole range of government agencies discredit themselves in the Twitter file. Why stop at one? Yeah, release them all. The file showed the FBI acting as a doorman to a vast program of social media surveillance and censorship.
Go get vaccinated, America.
Encompassing agencies across the federal government, from the State Department to the Pentagon to the CIA. The operation is far bigger than the reported 18 members of Foreign Influence Task Force (FETF), which also facilitates requests from a wide array of smaller actors, from local cops, media, and states government. Twitter had so much contact with so many agencies that executives lost track. Is today the DoD and tomorrow the FBI? Is it the weekly core or the monthly meeting? It was dizzy. A chief end result was that thousands of official reports flowed to Twitter from all over through the FETF and the FBI San Francisco field office. On June 29, 2020, San Francisco FBI agent Elvis Chan wrote to a pair of Twitter execs asking if he could invite an OGA to an upcoming conference. Who is OGA, or other government organization, can be a euphemism for CIA, according to multiple former intelligence officials and contractors. Yikes, chuckles one. They think it's mysterious, but it's just conspicuous. Other government agency, the place where I worked for 27 years, said retired CIA officer Ray McGovern. It was an open secret at Twitter that one of its executives was ex-CIA, which was why Chan referred to the executive former employee. Hey, my brother, let's go back in the day. The first Twitter executive abandoned any pretense to stealth, no hiding it anymore, were between friends, and emailed that the employee used to work for the CIA. So that is Elvis' question. Senior legal executive Stacey Cardile, whose alertness stood out among the Twitter leaders, replied, "I know, and I thought my silence was understood." Cardile passes on conference details to recently hired ex-FBI lawyer Jim Baker. "Sunlight conference tomorrow, no need for you to attend. Carnegie is doing the heavy lift. I offer to assist Nick and Joel, but there are no academic papers to review or anything. I was involved in the early scoping of a joint project as well. Invited the FBI, and I believe the CIA will virtually attend too." 15 is repeating itself. The government was in constant contact not just with Twitter, but virtually every major tech firm. These include Facebook, Microsoft, Verizon, Reddit. No wonder they kept banning me. Even Pinterest, really, and many others. Industry players also held regular meetings without the government. One of the most common forms was the regular meeting of the Multi-Agency Foreign Influence Task Force, I hate that name, attended by spats of executives, FBI personnel, and nearly always one or two attendees from CIA. The fifth, that's a better name, meeting agendas virtually always included, at or near the beginning, an OGA briefing, about foreign matters. Despite its official remit being foreign influence, the fifth and the San Francisco FBI office became conduit for mountains of domestic moderation requests for state government and even local police. Moral police! And the idea they can just ask it without a warrant makes no sense. Many requests arrive via teleporter, a one-way platform in which many communications were timed to vanish, like Snapchat, bruh. Especially as the election approached in 2020. You can blame the Russian now. The FITF and the FBI overwhelmed Twitter with requests, sending lists of hundreds of problem accounts. Email after email came from San Francisco office heading into election, often adorned with Excel attachment. I bet they responded, "Handled." The FBI was clearly tailoring searches to Twitter's policies. FBI complaints were almost always depicted somewhere as a possible terms of service violation, even in the subject line. The Twitter executives noticed that FBI appeared to be assigning personnel to look for Twitter violation.
Well, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone.
They have some folk in Baltimore field office and at HQ that are just doing keyword searches for violation. This is probably the 10th request I have dealt with in the last 5 days. Even the ex-FBI lawyer Jim Baker agreed odd that they are searching for violations of our policy.
Yeah, boy.
That's yo! You guys are a team! The New York FBI office even sent requests for the user's ID and handle, a long list of accounts named in a Daily Beast article. Senior executives say that they are supportive and completely comfortable doing so. It seemed to strike no one as strange that a foreign influence task force was forwarding thousands of mostly domestic reports along with the DHS about the fringiest material.
No.
And now you can totally understand why this is PsyOps. A government agency that was normally supposed to do gangster investigations, which we're supposed to respect, is suddenly playing the moral police. That's the issue that we have right now. And they were only helping to motivate the right information coming out to agree with specific presidents or whatever agenda they have. And whenever you want to remove something, that will justify usually we're actually trying to create a safe space and we want to protect the LGBTQ. They're using the LGBTQ as a Trojan horse. That is how I see it. Because I don't believe all LGBTQ are the same. But they're not going to say no for people that want to protect them. I agree with that. But now people like FBI are just using this to just stay in power. And I do find it very disgusting and evil. But anyway, don't want to talk too much. Let me know what you guys think. And see you guys in the comments. Like, share, hit the bell notification. Peace.